Hopefully you can hear me, guys. We're on plan B and a Q and a 4. Alright, trying to get focused now. I've thought I can't wait any longer, so I'm setting up as I'm speaking. Um, I've ditched the Astro camera for now, and we're just going straight through phone. So hopefully we should be a bit more successful. And I hope you can hear me. I haven't checked the chat yet. Right. What will I have a focus? This is a bit bright still, isn't it? I can't do anything about that. Right, let me just go to chat and see what you guys are doing. I might sound a bit distant at the minute. I'm going to plug my microphone into my phone and hopefully everything everything should be right. I know I'm going to get some right stick for this, aren't I? Hey, listen, it's all part of the learning curve, folks. We've all got to learn somewhere. Alright, where's the... Right, guys, you should... Don't worry. Don't worry, you're not... I'm not losing plot. Right. Oh, God, right. Can you hear me now? Yes, you can, because I just heard an echo back. Right, listen, I don't know how much... Oh, now we're buffering. Don't buffer on me now. I can't cope. I'll have a nervous breakdown. Yeah, do you know what I did? I thought, why is all rotation gone funny on phone? And I've got like a separate screw-on focuser, and I hadn't tightened that up, so I'm just turning in focus. I'll get there in end, guys. Trust me. Oh, why? So what's up with this microphone then? I can't understand why that's not working. Because, listen, if I talk at this volume, can you hear me? I'm going to talk at this volume because I'm like away from my phone now and I'm like just outside. Yeah, you can hear me. Thanks, Steve. I wonder if it's coming through computer as well. It maybe no, it can't be. Oh, I don't know. As long as you can hear me. As long as you can hear me. That's all right then. Good stuff. You can hear me. That's all that matters. Now that seems to be. I mean, Mount's going crazy now, guys. It's odd. Take them off. I'll be there in a minute, folks. Something very, very strange is happening. There we go. For some reason, Mount had gone a bit weird. Ah, do you know what it is? There's a delay, isn't there? There's a delay in. There's a lag in screen, so as I'm turning one way, it's like moving about 5 seconds after. Oh my lord, I don't know what a learning. Look at this, what's going on here? All I want is a shot at on me. Come on, you. This lag is driving me mad, guys. I can't get into view because as soon as I move it's lagging, so I can't tell which way it's going. That's so strange. It's like a 3-second lag. Right, sorry guys, I was too messing about. I know it's a little bit overexposed at the minute. It should sort itself out in a minute. If it doesn't, I'll go back to it. What it is, there you go, it just snapped in then. What it is like a, it is, isn't it? Favourite blooper reel, so am I, dude. There's like a lag in the live. So as I move up, it like doesn't do anything, and then it moves up about 2 seconds after. So I'm like, what's going on here? I thought my mount broke. I'm moving it, and nothing's moving. Have we been out of focus? Oh, no. Here we go. Has that gone into focus? It'll do, won't it? It'll do. At least we've got something on the screen, for goodness sake. Yeah, I think it's what it is, Steve. It is in focus, but it's got an autofocus on this setup on YouTube, so I can't turn that off. Can you see it going in and out of focus then? And it's something to do with to put camera controls on there, so you could at least play around with these things. Oh, look at that, see? I'm not even touching the telescope. I'm sat down now and it's moved. That's how much lag there is. That is so frustrating. If I had a better mount, it'd help. It's like a 2-second gap. So odd. See what we can do. It will, paranoid Android, it will, mate. Like I say, I just thought, you know, I mean, I could have done all this and left it on private, and but like I say, it's no fun that way, is it? Like you just witness my errors as it happens. I tell you what we'll do. I'll swap it over to refractor, or am I really pushing my luck there? Oh no, that lag. That lag is awful. Yeah, it's we will get there. We will get there. I will persevere. Right, that's not looking fantastic, but at least it's something. Right then, guys, can you hear me all right still? I hope you can hear me still all right still. I want to talk about a little bit quiet. Yeah, where are you all from? So we've got Canada, Nottingham. You just noticed video title, Matthew. Kansas. Wow. Thank you for joining the live. If you've just joined, I know there's only 5. We did have as much as 30 in earlier until I started acting like a clown. There are all kinds of mishaps happening. I think we're all right now. We're pretty calm. Yes, I am Steve. I'm in Chesterfield, UK. Yeah, what it is, Sydney. I'm having a little bit of microphone. Are you having a laugh there, Sydney? Are you having a laugh there with me? I'm having microphone trouble tonight, and for some reason I'm just getting no sound on my microphone. I don't know what's wrong with it. Mind you, standing on it and ripping it out, I mean, lapel didn't help it much. So my phone's across the room. Well, my phone's outside actually, so the volume is being picked up from that. I honestly don't know what's wrong with it. I can give it one more go, I suppose. It's not there. I it was working fine, weren't it, last night? And I was using this last night. Is that just leave it alone, Steve? Don't tempt fate. Let's have a look. Hopefully nothing should happen because all I've got to do is plug this in. But I'm in that much of a chandelier. I've got that many wires. Now, if I go silent for a bit, just let me know, and that means I know mic's not working again. So I'll unplug it and we'll go. So I'm going to plug this mic in when I can find bloody hole. That's a familiar saying. Right, here we go. There we go. Right, I'm plugging mic in now. Right, then in that case, then it appears I've broke my microphone. You'll hear me quite clear now because I'm right up against phone. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll see if I can switch my other phone on. I'll try and switch my other phone on and I'll sit outside. Can you hear me, guys? Because I'm going to have to be a little bit quiet because I'm outside now. Let's just have a look. Right, you can hear me. Awesome. That noise you can hear, by the way, that's the railways. Oops, I've got echo now. Turn that off. Good stuff. Yeah, really sorry, guys. That bit of a bit of a miss up. I don't know whether I'll leave these videos up or not. Thanks, Steve. I'm glad somebody does. Well, we kind of got there in the end, didn't we? I mean, we've got Moon. We've got Moon there. Slightly out of focus, like, but clicking. Oh. The focus don't look too bad on my phone. I don't know how it's coming across on yours. Lost connection on this phone now. Still connected on that one. Steve, I'll have to come inside again because my the phone's just back to coming out. It's a Skywatcher 130M, Steve. The M stands for motor. That's all. It's the version where you could get that little motor, and as you can see, unless you're not precisely polar aligned, and that they're not designed for astrophotography or any such like. It's mainly just to keep the object in the field of view, or help to keep the object in the field of view. But they're okay for what I want it for. I would actually recommend this telescope. I was saying last night, actually, I haven't actually done a review on it, and I've owned it now for about 3 years, and so I've had a good test of it, and I would recommend them to beginners. They're a good scope. They're just that next level up from entry level, if you get what I mean. They're still entry level and they're still a beginner's scope, but they're just that little bit more. With them being a 900 focal length and that and the rest of it. Yeah, I would recommend them. You can pick them up pretty cheaply now. I mean, I've seen them as little as £199, as little as, you know, just under £200. So that's new, all in. Yeah, welcome to the chat. Sorry about the audio at the minute, if you're just joining. We've had a few teething problems. We'll get. Yeah, full moon Tuesday. It's getting past its best now for observing. Of course, the best time to, it's still a little bit out of focus. It looks a little bit out of focus on my screen. I'll have another look at that in a minute. Yeah, best time obviously is, this is about the longest you can leave it before it gets a little bit, you know, the craters aren't as defined. Crescent up to about half, and this stage is, oh, Bruce. Thank you so much, Bruce. Some camera, any advice? 10K advice. Yeah, it's usually case, Bruce. Usually case. Buy new stuff, and that does it. Anybody in the chat can give Bruce any advice on this camera? I am not, unfortunately, an astrophotographer, Bruce. So it's not really my field to give you any advice on that, but I don't know whether anybody in the chat about a Nexi Image 10 camera. Any advice, guys? Oh, that's a shame, Matthew. Go and get yourself a cheap set of binoculars. You can get a set for like $30, something like that. Binocular, I love going out with a pair of binoculars. Get yourself one of them old-fashioned deck chairs or a sun lounger or something like that. Summer's evening, just lay with a pair of binoculars. Oh, you can't beat it. Yes, the audio is super. You've got no sound at all, Sydney. Well, that's odd. Tell you what I could do. Why don't I try this? I've got another plan, guys. I've got another plan for audio. Let me think about it. Yeah, what about if I do... I know that won't work, neither would it, 'cause it's... yeah, I ain't even got a pair of headphones with a mic on. Has that gone silent again? Has that gone silent again, guys? You can hear me now? You can't hear me? Is this still... You can hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Yes, David. So you can hear me? No, don't give up, Tom. Don't give up. If you can still hear me. Um, right, hang on. Because you know what I'm doing now? I'm actually talking through headphones. I've plugged my headphones in and I'm talking through them. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can turn the volume up a bit. Settings. Bear with me, guys. Settings. I want sound, don't I? I'll try cranking volume up again. Bear with me, guys. If you can hear me, bear with me. I'm really sorry. Just teething problems, that's all. We'll get there. If Rode Mics are watching and you want to sponsor me, sound settings. There we go, let's have a look. Yeah, if you can hear me, guys, I haven't got the chat on at the minute. Whoa, did I volume that? Did I see something? Microphone, let's check that. Come on, computer, work faster. Right, I'm getting a reading of microphones. I don't know how well it sounds. Does that one sound louder? No, that one sounds better, doesn't it? I'm actually speaking through my headphones, guys. Like, I mean, big headphones, not like AirPods. Like studio headphones. Oh, how professional. Right, here we go. Right, let's have a. No, it's not that one. I'm going to try and crank. I think the volume's cranked up full. Um, yeah, I think the volume's as loud as it's going, guys. I don't know if you're chatting to me a minute because I'm on the settings page of the. It is really, really quiet, though, isn't it? Where's that? I can't. See, this is all new to me, this microphone. I've never actually messed with it. Is it that one? I'm trying to find it. I can't find the setting. Let's change. No, it's not that one. It's gotta be that one. Oh, come on. There we go. John, thank you so much. Oh, mate, that is really generous of you, my friend. Thank you so much. Much appreciate that, buddy. I ain't got a cat, Steve. I've got a dog. A few more adjustments. There we go. It keeps going out of focus, doesn't it? There we go. What's that little shadow up there? Is it going behind houses already? Oh, it's just that little shadow you can see. that's cutting it off is going just by a chimney. It's very low, isn't it, the moon at the minute? Look there. Yeah, can you see? You see, this is really strange. On my phone, it's perfectly in focus, and that's what I'm using. And on the live stream, it looks awful, doesn't it? Did you hear? I did, Steve. It's Skywatcher 130M. My microphone probably had been switched off or something. Sorry, pal. Yeah, it's Skywatcher 130M. M just simply stands for motor. I think a lot of people's had trouble hearing me tonight, pal. Not with one thing and another. Yeah, we're losing the moon behind the chimney, and I think that's why the focus is all off. It's trying to focus on the chimney and the moon. It'll pass in a minute. In fact, I'll just move I'll move the scope a little up a bit. I think that'll be the best thing. 2 minutes. How's that? That's okay, isn't it? Well, Steve. I was planning on doing Saturn actually in a little while, because I had the Astro camera in, and it was picking up Arcturus beautifully, and then it all went wrong. So I shall have a go. Well, I'm glad I've made you night, paranoid android. I tell you, you don't get this entertainment on most Astro channels, do you? Oh dear, you can tell photography is not my thing, can't you? I don't know. Yeah, David, go-tos, they do make you lazy, don't they? They're alright though, I mean, if you've been into the hobby for a while, I don't think there's any reason why you shouldn't have a go-to if you can afford one. They do save a lot of time, don't they? But I don't advise them to beginners. I think you should study the hobby, in my opinion anyway, go-to, because they kind of give you all your cake at once, don't they? And we live in such a fast world today. Everybody wants everything fast and there and then. And astronomy just ain't like that. Astronomy it's a slow process. You just got to take your time with it and just enjoy it, basically. And don't be in a rush. I know it's hard at times, because your windows of opportunity are so small, aren't they? What with the weather and everything, and work and the rest of it. It's like I always say to people, it is, Steve, astronomy is patience, it's the biggest key. But it's like, I've always say, if you miss a target, don't worry about it, it's not going anywhere. It'll be there again. It'll be there again the next clear night, or the next year, or whatever. The only time it's a problem is if you're a comet hunter, and the weather was bad for that particular month that the comet were visible, and it may be years and years before it comes around again. But when it comes to just general astronomy, if you cloud it out all summer and you don't get to see Saturn or whatever, wait till next year. There's plenty of other things to have a look at in the meantime. It's really odd, this mount sometimes. I get this mount spot on and it tracks really, really well. And it can track pretty well for a good 20 minutes, and that's good for an EQ too. And then it, and then other nights it's terrible. I think this focus has a lot to do with the moon is now getting really low, and I think I think that's part of it. The atmospheric disturbance is not very good, even though it's not showing it on the screen as much. It's really odd because I've got two screens going on my phone camera. It's lovely and focused and crisp, but on the computer it seems overexposed. Yeah, I agree, Sydney, 100%. That's the way I like it. Nice and easy. It's like I want to have this set up now that I've got, an EQ, a reflector and an EQ. And it's the only reason I have is because it was cheap. I bought it second hand, and somebody was selling the gear. It was brand new for next to nothing. I picked the full lot up for 70 quid. That were the. I was shopping around at the time for an 18 stop Sony. Yeah, no problem, Steve. Do you want me to try and get that focus in a bit better? You see, the problem is I'm over in one end of the room, computer screen's on other. I think the biggest problem is as well, it seems slightly overexposed, but is that looking better? Bit better. Yeah. Like I say, it's not ideal, is it? It's the way I'm doing it, really. It's just afocal. I'd have been better off with AstroCam, but for some reason I've got no audio with that. I think I might have killed my microphone. I'll have to test it later. Plug it into the guitar amp. Plug it into my Marshall. See if it works. what I do, I get loud. Yeah, you can see a bit of creator definition, can't you now? I tell you what I could do. I zoomed in a bit last night, and that seemed to knock the exposure down a bit. Let me try. Debo Web. It's coming from headphones at the minute. A pair of actual proper cans, studio cans, because I think I've broke my microphone and I'm actually speaking into headphones. So I apologise for the audio. I know it's not fantastic, which is a bit concerning actually, because I'm making a video tomorrow. So I have to sort something out for audio on that. Let's keep playing with the focus. I've got an aperture stop on actually, which does not do anything. That's something else hitting the deck. No, it seems to. Well, that's annoying. Bear with me, guys. What I'm doing is having a nightmare, basically. Oh, that's jammed on now. We've only got about half an hour at Moon left anyway. Come on, you bugger. Do you know that washer that holds your camera on top of your telescope? I'm trying to undo that. It's locked on, solid. We are back. Trust me. We're back. I know we are now. Hey dear. This is it's really odd, isn't it? How things can just go wrong like this. Right then, get that up there. Hello. It is I. Right then, let's switch that round. Go. Hey, we're back. We're back, guys. Panic for a minute, but everything's alright. Stressful times, this. Can't find. Right, there we go. Oh, right. My life. Oh, that way. Yeah. Oh dear, 4 candles. I know. Tell me about it. Oh dear. It'd be even better if you could see me faffing about and telling you. And I'm like, honestly, Stan Laurel didn't have a thing on me. Thinking up straight as well. I've not even had a drink. Don't mind if I've had a drink. I could blame it on something. Oh, I've had too much to drink, guys. Oh, I'm a bit tired. No, I'm just a. You're wasting me sometimes. Is that, yeah, does David. It does. Hello there, Space Nerd. How are you, my friend? Thanks for dropping by. Apologies for the audio. We're having a we're having a few teething problems, to say the least. This is only the second time I've ever gone live, so this is more of a learning curve than anything, to be honest. By the way, guys, there's no adverts on this, is there? There haven't been no adverts coming up. We adverts as well as this disaster. No, good, Steve. Yeah, I made sure that there were no adverts, and I thought I'd selected that. Yeah, it's something we're going to actually do a video on that, about why I've got adverts on my channel and everything, and because it's something if I were working, guys, it wouldn't happen. I won't monetize my channel at all, because I'm just like everybody else. I get absolutely sick to death of adverts. They're the bane of my life. I mean, I don't even watch television anymore. I don't actually own a television in my living room, purely because it's just television is just full of adverts and bad news, basically. So yeah, and the only reason why I had to start monetizing the channel is just for a little bit of income. That's all. You know, and you really do earn peanuts off ad revenue. So if you see an ad on my channel, guys, watch it. You're doing me a favour. Try not to skip it. But that's the only reason. But yeah, if things start picking up and income comes a bit better, I'm going to start monetizing the channel. You know, unless it's like takes off and I just make it into a full-time job, which would be nice. But sorry, David, did I not answer a question? What are you saying? I think you was going to answer earlier about your next target video, if you might do a multi-target thing. Yeah, I did say that, didn't I mentioned that on the Facebook page that I was going to do something like that. Something like Finding Fridays or something like that. Um, yeah, I mean, I always try and keep it seasonal anyway. I mean, when I do my uploads, I do keep it seasonal. You know, there's no point in saying, you know, things to find around December and we're in the middle of July or whatever. But it's something I do want to do. I will always upload things to find. But I don't want to just start knocking videos out for the sake of knocking videos out. You know what I mean? I like to think that all my videos that you can at least use lives to yeah. Is that any better? Is that any better, Steve? Is that any better, Steve? Oh, everybody. I'm speaking through headphones, see. Um, the phone's miles away. Right, let me just yeah, you can't really hear me, can you? Uh, People will have to finish up doing. It's probably just turning the camera around and getting my ugly mush on, and we'll just have a chit chat. You'll just have to look at my ugly face for a bit if you want to do that. I don't understand why. Yeah, sorry for audio, guys. I'm back outside. I've unplugged them headphones. I'm right up to the phone now, so you should hear me quite clearly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the telescope right close up to the doorway, but we're going to lose the moon in about 5 minutes, I would say, just so you can hear me a bit better. I will sort this audio out for the next one, guys. So I'm just going to bring it up closer. and it's just about to disappear. To be honest, might not be able to get it. We might have lost it actually now. I might have to raise mount up. Anything there? It's too low. Try this. What I'm doing now, I'll let you know what I'm doing. I'm just raising. I'm just raising stand to see if I can just peek over top edge, because I can see the moon, but the telescope can't see the moon because I think it's just a bit too low. Sorry about all the clanking about. Well, that's all this live stream been, isn't it? Clanking about. Clanking about and fumbling about. See if I can get it now. Hey, can we get it? Yeah, there it is. There we go. That's the focus like. Not very good, is it? Right, I'll leave it at that for the time being. Can you hear me a little bit better, guys? Jason gets Saturn. I'll have a go, mate. I will have a go at that. Now then, how can I get Saturn? I don't know whether it'll pick it up, to be honest. Though I don't know if it'll pick it up. We can give it a go, folks, if you want. We can give it a go. Try and you can hear me great. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, we can have a go at Saturn and see me making a disaster of that if you want when moon sets. Yeah, be a laugh, won't it? Saturn might be a little bit too far. Yeah, it's west, isn't it? A minute, Saturn. No, east. It's east, isn't it? It's an eastern sky, isn't it, Saturn? Southwest. Oh, southwest. Oh, good. It's all right. I only teach astronomy. You ever think about it? No, yeah, see, it's in east. It's in east here. Yeah, southeast. Southeast here, in Chesterfield. Probably will, David. Like I say, whether we'll see much detail, I don't know how the camera's going to pick it up, because, like I say, I'm only going to be using my phone camera, and I will have to sit outside because it is round the corner. Where I've got the camera set at the minute, I'm just virtually outside the kitchen door. But where I get to see Saturn, it's right down the drive, see. So, but we'll give it a go. 5 times Barlow, that's strong. I have got a 5 times Barlow. I never ever use it. And the only reason I've got a 5 times Barlow is because SV Boney sent me one, and I have not made a video on it yet. I totally forgot about it. Honestly, they sent me that telescope, they sent me the eyepiece, and they sent me a 5 times Barlow. And good morning, Welsh Womble, great name, love your name. Yeah, and I've just not used the 5 times Barlow. I've got no need to use a 5 times Barlow. They're really designed for astrophotography. Yeah, I'm just going to let moon disappear now, guys, because that is it setting behind the fence. That line you can see is the fence. I know the image is not fantastic. I am going to sort it out. I'll get it to better somehow. I'll do a bit of research on how to do this. It's a shame that the Astro camera ain't working, because it were a better picture than that, definitely. Yeah, I agree, Steve. 2 times Barlow is the one you want. Very useful. Yeah, I don't use anything higher than a 2 times Barlow. Three times is about your absolute max for visual astronomy. Most telescopes just can't cope with five times. Hey Tom, there's nothing wrong with them, mate. If you like it, you use it. If your views are good with it, then by all means use it, mate. I mean, there's no rules and regulations saying you can or can't use anything. If it works for you, then 5 times Barlow, that's fine. But what tends to happen a lot with 5 times Barlow is they're just too powerful for most telescopes, and they don't let enough light in, and they really do dim down a lot of the images. So, but yeah, by all means use a 5 times. But they do have their place in astronomy, and don't get me wrong, especially in astrophotography and small chip cameras. They're all right for the moon. 5 times to like really get a good blast of the moon and get a good close up, because obviously you've got as much light as you want. Right, guys, looks like the moon has set. So let me just have I'll just have oh, the sun, yeah, definitely. Um, I'll just have a look around the corner and see if Jupiter has arisen yet. I'm not quite sure. No, it hasn't. It's not quite right. It is up, but it's not where I can see it. I can actually still see the moon, but um, it's just a bit too low. I wonder if we can get just maybe for the time being. Oh, I wish I could get that Astro camera working, but there's just no sound if I do. Um, let's try and get Vega or something like that until Jupiter comes. Wow, Vega's straight up. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be enough light getting in to pick it up. We got Alturas on the other camera. We've got no sound, unfortunately. Oh, what's that? That looks like a star. There we go. least there's something there. I think that's about as much focus I can get. Look at that, eh? You don't get many images like that, a little dot on your screen, do you? what exciting viewing, eh? Why have we got millions of viewers looking at this little dot on the screen? I'm at garden with a torch, couldn't I, and say, oh, it's Vega. It is Vega, Matthew, yeah. I don't know if the bluiness is coming across. I'll tell you what, I'll turn this kitchen light off because we're getting a little bit of reflections, aren't we? Does that darken things up a bit? Yeah, me too, Matthew. I think it's my favourite because it was the first one I ever learned, really. And I learned it off Sky at night. Starman, yeah. Yeah, that's where they're supposed to be. And of course, the Ring Nebula is just below that. It's a shame I can't get the Ring Nebula, isn't it? I don't think anybody would though, would they? I mean, I think you'd need something like at least an 18-inch reflector to live stream deep sky. Yes, Steve. Well, Vega is actually going to be the pole star soon. Well, not soon, in a few thousand years, but eventually Vega will be the pole star. Which is what you imagine the pole star. Well, when I learned that there was a pole star, I hadn't seen it, but I'd heard about it when I was a kid. I thought it would be as bright as Vega. You know, you'd expect it to be really bright, wouldn't you? But yeah, that'd be easy to find, won't it? Yeah, a few thousand years. Not quite yet. I don't know if the blueness is coming across on the screen, but I can certainly see it on the phone. It's a lovely blue star, isn't it? Yeah, better do, David. You might forget. Yeah, you can see the blue, can't you? Yeah, it's great. If I'll tell you what will be nice if we can get Albario, because that should be coming round soon. Again, that's just behind the rooftop at the minute. I love Albario. Could look at that, or could look at that forever. Yeah, slight blue tint, and of course, the bluer the star, the hotter it is. Um, and the more, like, such as Arcturus that we had in, that's a lot cooler. It's a lot cooler star, so that's appears more orange. So it's still absolutely crystal clear here. It is precisely 1:17 in the morning. All right, David, you have a good night, my friend. Don't work too hard, buddy. Thanks for dropping by, pal. Keep a lookout. There'll be more fumbling lives to come. Take care, buddy. I can't get Ursa Major, Tom. Like I said, I'm really limited with my skies. I've got a bit of the eastern sky, a western sky, and a southern sky. But mainly southern and western skies is about all I've got. My northern sky is just completely blocked by trees, and the eastern sky is mainly blocked by houses. So I have to wait for things to come round. But like I say, you've got to be patient in this game. It's no worries. I just wait for them to come to me, and that's what you should learn to do. Don't be like go out of your way to look for targets. Let them come to you. Well, there's still 9 of you watching. Oops, we've lost Vega, haven't we? I just realised. There she's back. Yeah, Matthew, they do, don't they? They're always the first star. Oh, I will, Steve. I will. There'll be more coming, pal. There'll be more coming, mate. Like I say, I will get better at it. I think. Well, I hope I will anyway. But it's just a learning curve. This I had no idea what it were going to be like to project stars. This way, doing it live. I didn't really know how to do about it, but at least I'm quite surprised actually that it is showing stars up. I knew it'd be alright for the moon. Well, I'm saying I knew it'd be alright. I was a bit worried about exposure. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that, buddy. You take care, my friend. If you're off, I much appreciate you stopping by. I will stick at it, Paranoid Android. Definitely. I like doing these lives. They're fun. They're good. I mean, I know it's been a bit of a blunder, like, but yeah, you take care, buddy. Have a good night, Steve. Let's have a look, see if Jupiter's come round. Well, Jupiter ain't coming round. I think it's going to be pretty late before that. I can't remember what time it actually shows. Later on in year, it's going to be better for Jupiter and Saturn because it's they're more in my suitable skies. All right, Craig, you take care, my friend. Thank you for dropping by, buddy. Have a good night, man. Have a good night. There will be more lives. Make sure you got your notifications switched on. We will be doing more. Android, thank you so much for dropping by, buddy. Have a good night, pal, and I will see you on the next one. Yeah, Tom, I think you're right, pal. I don't think we're going to get Jupiter tonight. We'll definitely get it later on in the year, and there'll be definitely more lives to do. Anyway, I might even show me ugly mug next time. So it's a bit limited for what we can actually point the telescope at, of just the amount of skies I've got to view around here. I'm waiting to buy my dream house in Midland Moors somewhere. Good evening, Joseph. How are you, my friend? Night, Paranoid Android. Have a good one, buddy. See you later, pal. That's good to hear, Joseph. It's always fun, isn't it, when it's a clear night and you've got a telescope at hand. Oklahoma, across the pond. I've got a lot of subscribers actually from from across the pond. No, it's good to see you, Joe. So anyway, thanks for dropping by, buddy. Welcome to the stream. If you've just joined us, folks, the moon's actually set now. This is Vega we're looking at. Um, like I say, I might even do another stream tomorrow if it's clear. We'll see how it goes. That's good to hear, Deepo. Yeah, I like it. It's fun. I like doing it. It's good chatting with you all. It's nice to communicate with you all this way instead of just through comments, as such. in videos and stuff. And that's why I want to do lives really. I can connect with my audience a little bit better, especially when it comes to questions, because certain, 'cause I know that there's a few of you, a few of my subscribers that do struggle with certain things, and sometimes it's hard to ask what they're trying to get across in the comments section. So that's what I'm hoping some of these lives are going to do. And if it just helps one person eventually, then I've done my job at the end of the day. Or just just sit around and chit chat. Yeah, yeah, something like that. I probably would need some better gear for that, for star hopping and things, because I am only limited to brighter targets, such as the brighter stars and planets than the moon as such. Yeah, live collimation, Tom. I think that would be something, or just do a live on collimation, and whether we get onto collimation in the live, I don't know, but definitely do that as the title for the live stream, or the subject matter. Like I say, I'm not an expert on collimation, but I keep it simple, and that's what I think it would be nice to just let people realise. There's nothing to be afraid of with collimation. It really is nothing to be afraid of. You can't break anything, really. Yeah, focusing masks, they are a good thing, definitely. Of course, you can make your own focusing masks. I did a video on it years ago, about a couple of years ago. If you've got a dust cover that has a removable smaller caps, and sometimes one of them's moulded and it's like blocked up, but if you actually recut that out, and you'd have two smaller holes in your dust cover, and they actually act as a focusing mask, because if you put your dust cover on with those two holes exposed, you'll actually get a double image of a star, and you're in focus when them two images come together and make one star. And you can do that quite easily with your dust cover. Hey up, guys. Yeah, I know you. I know you're struggling with audio at the minute. It's because it probably sounds a little bit better now. It's because I'm right up against the phone. The phone's actually outside. I'm inside. I did have microphone problems, so I'm having to use the audio on the phone. What I might do, guys, if you want, I might have a wave of the telescope for now, because there's not many targets. And if you want, we can just have a chat. I'll put my face on camera if that's something you want, and we'll just carry on having a chat inside, because it's getting a bit late out here now for me to be talking without a microphone. And this time of year, everybody's got their windows open, and I do live in a built-up area, so I think that's what we do. I can just see a satellite. Is it a Starlink? Probably not on screen, but yeah. So, like I say, because I would have liked to have got Saturn and Saturn and Venus, Saturn and Jupiter, but it's not going to be for another couple of hours before I can get them seen. So what I'll do, I'll not switch off or anything. If you're up for that, I love looking at comments because I can't see the comments at the minute. If you're up for just having a little chat, I'll put my ugly face on the camera in the daytime, and at least you can see something other than a dot on screen. So let me know if you want to do that, and I'll take everything inside, and then you'll be able to hear me a lot better, and we can carry on having a chat if you like. Right, okay, we'll do that then, guys. We shall do that then. Right then. Apologies for the picture at the minute. Yeah, because like I say, I do. I live in a cul-de-sac, and so talking. So I'll come inside now. Sorry about this. I'll put my finger over. I'll put that over there, so I'm not blinding you guys. I've still got the eyepiece in the camera. Let me just move this out of the way. We'll get inside as quick as I can. Move my laptop out of the way. There we go. There we go. Shut door then. I've got that many wires. Honestly, I'll have to take a photograph and post it on my community page. There we go. Right then. Right, I'm in scruffy part of the house now. I'm in utility room, but it'll be right. Let's see if we can set up. Right then, guys, let's have a look. Hey, look at this. I'm gonna do one of them trippy things with camera where you can see. Look at that. Oh dear. Infinite camera. Right, let me switch around. Hello! Move that. You have to excuse my glasses. These are the glasses I was on about. I've had to borrow them. Because I put my big fat arse on them and broke them. That'll do, you can kind of see me now, can't you? Oh, I tell you what, I'll move camera so I can see chat. That makes sense, doesn't it? I ain't got my tripod. It's in room. Can't even get this set up. Oh my life. So much covering camera. Oh my days, what's going on here? Right, stay there. Why can't I just have it up a bit? Oh dear. Here we go. Sit down a bit like that. How's that? Right, I'm gonna have to look over here and I can read chat better here. Right, can you hear me by the way? There's such a delay on this picture, it's incredible. Yeah, you can hear me. Right, have we just lost all his viewers? How many we got? I can't see, it's around there somewhere. Oh, there's 12 of you still on. You must be glutton for punishment. 12 is on, right? Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, what I'll do, guys, I'll get something set up so we can, but later on in gear it'll be a lot better, because planets will move around to a better place where I can see them. Yeah, you can hear me fine. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, amateur radio operator. All right, that's interesting. The only amateur radio operating I used to have a CB. Remember them? Remember that in the day? back in 80s. Biscuit tin on floor with aerial. Yeah, CBs. Yeah, I had a Comtron. Remember them Comtrons? Yeah, Comtron CB. Yeah. I know, Tom. Hey, it's my big 5-0, you know, in 23rd of this month. 50. Where's years gone? Yeah. We've got one up road here. We're aerial. Really, Tom? 55, Joseph, yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? Doesn't seem that, just 2 minutes since we were 15. Oh, happy belated birthday, my friend. I know, Tom. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I really don't feel my age at all. I mean, I feel as fit as a flea, to be honest. I mean, apart from my back, you know, I do get a lot, but I've always had that. I've had back issues since I was in my 20s. It's just amazing. I don't feel any different at all. In fact, I feel better. I feel fit and neat, like in my 50s than I do in my 20s. That's the eyepiece I was using tonight. Um, it's the SV Boney 20mm, 68 degree. They're a great little eyepiece then for the price. It's hard to see everything's back to front when you're doing it like this. Um, yeah, I think about 40 pounds. Don't know what that is in dollars, but I would recommend them. They're great. I've not tried the anything higher powered than this. This is just the 20mm. But I mean, most low powered eyepieces are pretty decent, aren't they? Because they're not that demanding. But yeah. Do you know I ain't got a 32 at minute, Joseph? Um, it's something I need. I had to sell all my gear, and I had to basically start from scratch again. That's why I've just got entry level stuff. You know, after 40 years of doing astronomy, I'm down to like 3 telescopes from used to having about 14, 15 telescopes. Um, God knows how much equipment, hundreds and hundreds of pounds eyepieces, you know, and just I got into a lot of financial difficulties. I had to get rid of the lot. But it's like materialistic things, isn't it? You know, all these things can be replaced again. So you know, it's not end of world, is it? Um, no, I don't feel bad, pal. No, 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 no. I did one of the scopes, which were an 8-inch homemade Dobsonian. A bloke in, where did he come from? I think he was in Derby. Hand ground the mirror, and he was awesome at it. You know, it was surprised he weren't known amongst the community, but he weren't. He didn't do it as professionally or anything. It was just simply his hobby. You know, he used to grind mirrors, and they were fantastic. And I can't remember his name now. Just can't remember his name. And yeah, and it were an 18-inch Dobsonian, and it was probably the best telescope I've ever owned, to be honest. But that's gone. Somebody will be enjoying it now. Yeah, if you're watching and you've got an 18-inch Dobsonian and you bought it off me in the 90s, late 90s, I want it back. Hello, koi fish. How are you, my friend? Welcome to the chat. We unfortunately the moon's set now, so we're just having a little bit of a chit chat now. Yeah, just talk about what you want, really. 18-inch. I hope that's a reflector you're talking about. I was lucky enough actually to have access to an 18-inch reflector. That's how I learned my. That's how I learned my thing, really, through an 18-inch reflector. That Chesterfield Astronomical Society, and Chesterfield Astronomical Society is just literally that way, about half a mile, and they've got again a hand ground bloke made it in the 60s, I believe. 18-inch reflector. It was one of the biggest telescopes in the country when it were first put up. Obviously, there's a lot bigger now. I mean, a lot of hobbyists have 20-inch scopes. But yeah, it's a proper thing. It's an incredible focal length. I can't remember what focal length is. Amazing. I'll tell you what it's like when you look through a big scope like that. When you see photographs, like such as it looks like a photograph. Everything looks like a photograph, if you get what I mean. Hercules, you know, M13. It's incredible. It's incredible, the individual stars you can pick out. And it's in Chesterfield, which is Bortle, you know, seven skies. But it still does all right. It's fantastic. And the moon, God, it's like you're orbit. It's like you're just a mile above the moon. Yeah, koi fish, but don't get aperture fever though. Aperture fever is a terrible illness in astronomers, and if you have uh, dark skies, good dark skies, and you know you've got to be prepared also that an 18-inch telescope, it needs to be pretty much grounded. They're not very portable. And if you haven't got dark skies, the bigger the scope, yeah, they let more starlight in, but they also let more light pollution in too, and you'll just get a washed out image, you know, with hardly any contrast. And that's the only problem with having uh, bigger scopes. Basically, you've got to have the conditions and the enthusiasm to use them, because I said earlier, I know a lot of people that have got 12-inch scopes, you know, 15-inch scopes. Well, not a lot of people, but I know a few people, and they never use them. You know, they've got beautiful telescopes. I've got one friend, he's got a go-to 14, I think it's a 14-inch reflector on a go-to mount. Thousands of pounds of equipment. He must use it once a year, twice a year, and he just takes his small, you know, portable scope out more than anything. And they always say, you know, the best telescope is the telescope you use the most. It's got nothing to do. That's your favourite telescope. It's as simple as that. As simple as that, really. Yeah, it does. Aperture fever does get expensive, Tom. Ooh, that's a long time, isn't it? You ordered it in January, Joseph. October. Why does it take so long? What have they got? Have they got like a bunch of fleas grinding mirrors? Like with a little. How long does it take? Yeah, who said they got bottle? Somebody got bottle four bottle four skies. Yeah, you'll have no trouble with big telescopes in bottle four skies. You know, bottle five is about your limit for anything above 10 inch. If you've got bottle skies of around about 6, 7, stick to 8 inch as your maximum aperture. Is my advice. You're just not going to use it otherwise, and you'll regret it. Because the sky conditions will just not allow you to use and get the full use out of a large aperture telescope. That's why, like I say, I mean, your 4, your 5, your 6 inch reflectors are perfect for suburban astronomy, really. Yeah, you've not quite got the light graphs of the big scope, but it's just like everything we just talked about. You've got too much light pollution, you're defeating the object anyway. Yeah, that's all I'm using at minute, Joseph. 130. What looks like a boiled egg? What looks like a boiled egg? Do you know, I want to keep chickens, Joseph. I'd love to have a chicken run. Yeah, that's why I'd want some, Joseph. Free range eggs. I love eggs. Ooh, sounds like somebody's doing some astrophotography. What your imaging Debo Web? I really do. I'd like to get into astrophotography a little bit more, but just too much faffing for me. Oh, you're coming out first, you're the evening. Hang on. Somebody's trying to, bear with me guys, somebody's just trying to attract my attention. I'll just go and find out what's happening. Just my beloved wanting a drink. Do you want to go out? I'm just letting my dog out. Do you want to go outside? Jet? Go outside, mate. Do you want to say hello? Say hello? Oh no, he don't want to say hello. Moved my camera now. Took me about 3 hours to get it set up. Yeah. Drinking wine. Well, I could just drink some wine. No, you don't want to go out, so shut the door. Yeah, I apologise for any background noise, folks. My beloved and my daughter is just making drinks. I hope they're going to make me one. cup of tea would be nice. Itchy armpits, what's that all about? Like a monkey. If you can hear some munching, that's Jet, my dog, just finishing his dinner off. Hey up, dude. Hey up. Hey up, pal. See what I could do. I can't move it, see, because I've got my laptop set up. I can't see chat otherwise. Is that me you're referring to, faster PC? I certainly need a faster PC, yeah. That is for sure. This is ancient that I'm using. I'm using like about a 10-year-old HP laptop. Can you stick them together? Yeah, do them there for me. You stick them together for me.
I can't do that.
You can, can't you? Do it, babe. Did you do it? If you do it over there somewhere, yeah. If you don't mind, please. It's just going to be noisy on there otherwise, isn't it? Sorry guys, pardon?
You want to see drinking?
No, I don't mean that at all. Doesn't matter. No, what are you doing now?
Just want some bread, haven't you?
Oh, right. Right, sorry guys, I was a bit distracted there, what we're saying. Yeah, that sounds good. Some point studio. Yeah, star parties. There still is star parties around. People still do them. Best place for that is just a quick Google search. Local star parties. People still do star parties, and they're great fun. If you've never been to one, well, you obviously have in the 80s, but yeah, I do like star parties. Hey, it is, isn't it? I suppose. So it is a star party. We had to do it, didn't we? We had to try and do some kind of link up, get about 7 telescopes all around the world, and just do a live stream. We'll all link up and do a shared cam or something like that. That'd be good. Yeah. Yeah, Tom. I know Phil from Facebook group. He was going to do something, weren't he? A star party. I don't. Did anything happen to that? I have got a perfect place as well, where I was actually thinking about that. Where I take dog a walk, there's a field, a really isolated field, that's quite easily accessible, so it won't be too much trouble to get people to get the gear up there. And it'd be a perfect place. I'd probably have to have a word with owner, like, but I'm sure they won't mind. But it'd be a good place for a star party. Lovely dark skies up there. Any PC, it'll be all right for me. Odyssey. My PC, like I say, it's got keys missing and all sorts. It still works though. Well, it's kind of working. It's just a bit slow. It's a bit laggy, especially if you're using Astro equipment such as go on, what do you call it? Brain stopped working. Can't think what you call it. Star stacking software. What's it called, guys? I can't remember what it's called. Not Stackart, other one. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, if I'm using anything like that, it can be a bit very laggy. Speak for yourself, Butch. I'm not that old. Well, I suppose I am. 50 this year. One for you, one for me, one for Mimi.
Right, there's two.
I tell you something about astronomers though, Butch. They're all really decent people. Um, like I say, I've been doing this for over 40, well, about 40 years. And I've never ever met a grumpy astronomer. It's just always really nice people in this game. And that's why I always tell people as well, especially newbies, or even seasoned astronomers, get yourself into a society, an astronomical society if there's one nearby. Get yourself a member because you will learn so much at an astronomical society. You don't have to be experienced, you don't have to know nothing about astronomy. You know, there's a beginners and seasoned astronomers that join societies, and you'll just love it. You'll have time of your life. You'll learn more there than you will watching 1,000 YouTube videos. You know, you'll learn more there in a week than you will watching 1,000 YouTube videos. And you get to borrow gear and use gear. You know, use gear that you've could only dream about owning. Yeah, there will be, Joseph. No matter how big your telescope is, nebula will always appear black and white through the eyepiece. Um, you know, even if you've got a 12-inch Dobsonian to, you know, whatever, it's just that the colour is there. It's just our eyes are just not sensitive enough, or the rods, the light rods that are responsible for picking up colour, are just not sensitive enough to pick it up through the eyepiece. You'll only get the colour through mainly as just ghostly hazes in the sky through an eyepiece. But it's nothing to be, you know, you shouldn't be put off by that. I just, you know, if you're just taking, if you can just appreciate what you're looking at, how far away it is, how big it is, you know, that hazy patch then becomes something pretty amazing. No, they don't edit in the colour. It is there, that colour is there. It's just that cameras can just open that shutter up a lot longer so that colour can be then saturated in. That's a layman's way of putting it. I'm sure there's a more technical, photographers know what I'm talking about more than, you know, I'm probably putting across. But no, they don't edit that colour in. That colour is there and it's there in the photographs. Sometimes they take separate exposures. They might do some reds, then some blues, yeah, do the red, green, blues, and then layer them on top using, you know, using different filters. That's one way of doing it to bring out the colour. But yeah, the colour's there. It's not artificial, but visually, you'll just usually see ghostly hazes. Kids can see colour more than adults can. If you've got kids or grandkids or niece, nephews, whatever, put it on something like, if you've got a decent enough telescope, put it on something like the Ring Nebula. Don't mention colour and ask them what they can see. And more often than not, kids can actually see colour in the Ring Nebula. And it's just simply because their eyes are a lot more sensitive, they're a lot younger. And it's quite amazing, you know, they can see it, we can't. Yeah, you may do, koi fish. You may do, buddy. When I'm talking about kids though, I'm talking more like, you know, kids like 10, 11, something like that. We've really, you know, really never seen colour. I see a bit of colour in the Orion Nebula. I think you will see a slight tinge of colour there because it's such a bright nebula. And it's just bright enough to get them colour receptors activated. But as most nebulas, they're just not bright enough. Yeah, paranoid android. Yeah, I think it does with me. Greeny blue, that kind of effect. And then when I do it through I mean, I've only ever photographed. I've only ever done afocal photography, which is an old-fashioned way. Today they call it digiscoping, but back in the day it were called afocal photography, and that was just simply putting your camera up to the eyepiece. Yeah, exactly the same as I've been doing with my mobile phone. You see, with a phone, same way that, and that's the only type of photography I've done. It's only recently, since SV Bonus sent me that astro camera, that I've dabbled with any kind of astrophotography. So, but yeah, when I do it with the phone, Orion Nebula definitely brings out the purple. It's like all the purple in there. Lagoon Nebula, no, I just see Lagoon Nebula as a ghostly patch in the sky. I don't see any colour at all. not through the eyepiece anyway. Dun, 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 dun. Strange, I don't know, let's just switch stuff. Oh, there it is. No, it's not paranoid Android. No, it's not cheating really. Especially if you've been doing it for as long as I have. Sometimes, you know, it's just easy to just get it to go to. But when you're learning, I've always said this about go-tos, you know, when newbies are into the hobby, I think it's best to have a manual telescope. Um, you just learn more with a manual telescope. You know, it's the old, I know it's a bit old-fashioned and all that lot, doing it all by hand, but it's the way to really, you know, learn your way around the night sky, because a go-to will take you to them objects, but you're not learning where them objects are. You know, if you're just relying on a go-to telescope, next time you're out and about, you know, you might be camping or whatever, you won't have a clue where to find anything because you've never learned where it is. The telescope is, you know, you're just looking in the eyepiece, and that's only, you know, I don't dislike go-tos. I just wouldn't advise it for a beginner. That's all. I don't think they're lazy or cheating. They're convenient. They're convenient. Yeah, me too, Joseph. I mean, as you know, my channel is just all star hopping, and I sometimes forget that there's such a thing as a go-to. I do. I forget because it's just my way of doing it, and you know. Oh, thank you, Bad Future. Thank you very much. That is very much appreciated, buddy. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that, but very much appreciated. Yeah, what was I saying? Forgot what I was saying now. Forgot what I was saying. Star hopping. That's what we were saying. Yeah, I just prefer it that way. I've always preferred it that way. You know, I did have a go-to. I had a go-to years ago, and I do miss it. I've got to be honest, I do miss it. Sometimes, I mean, now with this channel that I'm doing, it'd be perfect, you know, to do live streams and the rest of it, and having a decent tracking mount. Just get something like a small one, you know, like, I mean, you can even get go-tos now for 3-inch, 4-inch scopes, you know. Um, Yeah, I would, Tom. I would have one if you're talking to me. That is, and I did have one. I used to have one, and I miss it. um, it is 2:14 a.m. in the UK. Good to hear, Butch. Yeah, it works, doesn't it? Yeah, I've always used that triangulation. I mean, it's not my idea in any shape or form. I mean, it's just a form of star hopping. But I've always found that forming triangles from other stars, especially if it makes a nice equatorial, an equal triangle, it really does help matters, and it helps. Yeah. We are hardwired for pattern recognition. That's why, you know, people can see faces in so many things, um, purely for that. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how well small scopes perform. I mean, that's why I called it the channel small optics, really, because people think that, you know, a small optics toy telescopes, and yeah, you can get toy telescopes, but you know, not all small optics are toy telescopes. You can see some amazing things with, like I say, a 60mm refractor. You know, there's some incredible work you can do with something. And if you bear in mind, if you think about, you know, what telescopes used to be when they first come out, like Newton's time and Galilean telescopes and things. I mean, it's awful. When you look through it, the image looks like it's other side of the room. It's a little tiny, horrible image, and how he managed to see anything is amazing. So you know, just cheap refractors that you can buy today are 100 times better than what Galileo were using. Yeah, and that's another thing, Butch, isn't it? People do ask that question quite often. How come, you know, they had such inferior instruments, but yet could see such faint deep sky objects? You know, and I've got a 5, 6, 7-inch telescope, and I can't see them. And it's simply what you've just said. There was no light pollution back then. You know, everybody had a portal sky of probably about 3. Yeah, no street lights. There were just no pollution. It were all gas lights, weren't it? You know, I bet it was fantastic. Can you imagine what the skies were like back then? It would just be like being in desert all the time, wouldn't it? It'd be fantastic. I think the best I've ever seen the skies were about, oh God, a few years ago now. I was in my 30s, I think. And I couldn't tell you what mountain it was, 'cause I can't remember. But we went on a hiking thing. It weren't like a Everest mountain, but it were a mountain in Wales, I believe. And it had a big. It's got a big flat top. A right hike. It took us about, oh God, about 4 hours to get to the summit of this mountain. Well, it did with me, because I was like, I was like dying. I couldn't breathe. Honestly, I needed oxygen. But anyway, when we got to the top of this mountain, it was one of the best nights stargazing I've ever had. We camped out up there, and I just had a pair of small bird spotting binoculars, and it was like having a telescope with me. It was like having a 6-inch scope, because it was so dark. Hey, Epic Plays, how we doing, my friend? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, you can ask me anything you like, buddy. It's yeah, if you've got a question, fire away. We're just having a little chit chat now. Earlier we had the moon. We were looking at a few stars. Well, we were trying to look at some stars on the moon. A few disasters on the way. But we're just having a chat now, basically. Just a little bit of an hangout. I don't know how long I'm going to be on it. Time is getting on a bit now. I have been on, God, about 3 hours. But yeah, that's what we're doing now. But if you've got a question, buddy, just fire it away. I don't know how many's in the chat at the minute. There's only 11 of us at the minute, isn't they? So. But yeah, I might. I don't know yet. I'm not promising. I'll definitely let you know. I might pop on again tomorrow, weather permitting. Now I've learned a few lessons. We'll get better at it. I'd like to get that camera working. I don't even know where it is. I think it's here. That's the camera I was using originally. It's the SV Boney 105. and that were working great. Pitch were all right, and then but no sound. Nobody could hear me. But I think that's down to the. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Epic Plays. It is, isn't it? Light pollution's an absolute nightmare. I'm myself have got Bortles 6, 7 skies here. It's more of a 6 where I am, 6.5, but still not great. And that's the problem these days. People that don't really understand the workings of a telescope. They buy a 6, 7 inch telescope and they can't see what they think they can see, and it's not the telescope's fault. It'll be the skies. It's as simple as that. If the skies won't allow it, it don't matter what telescope you've got. If there's too much light pollution, you're just not going to see these targets. I mean, I don't have a chance with anything. I get about magnitude 9. After magnitude 9, I'm struggling to see anything like that. I mean, the Ring Nebula is around about magnitude 8, and I can see that, but after that it's getting a little bit, struggling, and that's purely just to light pollution, and I suppose a little bit of aperture. 5 inches of aperture is not great, but I've always said it, if you take a 5-inch telescope to proper dark locations, you can add a couple of inches of aperture to it. It's like if you take a 5-inch scope to really dark skies, it's like taking a 7-inch scope. That's how much difference there is in light grasp, or not so much light grasp. It's probably the wrong word, but just because there's so little light pollution, it's as though you're adding a little bit of aperture to your scope. It really does make an incredible difference. I mean, I harp on about it all the time on the channel. Dark skies are preferred and all that, and it's not to be taken with a pinch of salt. Dark skies are so important when it comes to astronomy, and light, dark adaptation, really important. If you're going to go out deep sky hunting, you want to spend at least half an hour in the darkness before you go out to the telescope. It's so important. You won't stand a chance of seeing anything around about magnitude 9 and above. Forget it. Otherwise, yeah, and even red flashlights, Joseph, they're too bright. They really are too bright. The ones you can buy from astronomy shops, even astronomy suppliers, they're far too bright. The best thing to do is put some tape on them. Brown tape, believe it or not, if you use brown tape, like parcel tape, put that over them. You really do just want a glow, like a small glow that's just enough for you to see your star chart or whatever. That's the thing. It's incredible how much it does affect you. Yeah, buy red gel. You can do that, but like I say, the easiest way is brown tape. Brown parcel tape. Just works really good with red light. It's the right sort of spectrum for it, and something I learned. That's something I learned from society. I'd have done what you said, put extra red gel on, but no, brown tape's meant to be the thing to use, and that's what I use anyway. I tell you what I use a lot is these, right? And I tape these up with brown tape. And I know it's not a red light, it's not ideal, but I just make a little deep thing because they come with that on them, which is just an LED light, but it's just a blue LED light, but it's really bright, but they're really handy, and it's just a lighter, a lighter, two meanings. Lights that end and lights that end, but yeah, and they have these little handy torches on. That's what I'm looking for when I'm fumbling about in dark, actually. But something like that you can just make yourself. You don't have to buy them. Bike lights, you know, for push bikes, use them. Just tape them up. They work same. Head torches. I use a head torch that's got a red light function on it too. And what I do with that is I just position it up. So you can alter it. And I just position it up so it's not shining out. So I just... Yeah, Joseph, it's strange, isn't it? Yeah, torches. Yeah. I mean, torches are what you use in caves, isn't it? It's what Indiana Jones uses them, doesn't he? Torches. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, how we say different words. Trunk, boot. Trunk of a car, boot of a car. Yeah. What is it? Catapult, slingshot. Yeah, we have different words, don't we? Strange. But we all know what we mean, don't we, at end of the day? We speak proper English. Oh dear. I know that's a new thing, isn't it? I didn't think that existed, me. And I only found this out when I were started. Cause I like to play a few games. Really, I started gaming, and when you choose your language, English or American English, that just made me smile. Didn't think there was such a thing as an American English, but I do know what you mean. I do know what they mean. I can understand American English, and I think Americans can understand English. Yeah, colour vs colour, indeed, Butch. It's strange, isn't it? Because I always get a spell check with that. So you say I'm spelling it wrong. Is it true? Is it true that Americans spell love L-U-V? I've heard that before. They don't spell it L-O-V-E like wrong. Not true, right? I didn't think it was. I thought it was just a rumour. Yeah, is it just texting? Right, okay, Butch. Yeah. Well, I use it in texting. Yeah, it is. It is koi fish. But it's just the spelling of the word love. I got it in my head that Americans spelt it L-U-V. But it is a very British thing to say love, yeah, when you're speaking to somebody. All right, love. How you doing, love? Very Yorkshire. I love chicken. So do I. Could just eat some. Excuse me a minute, guys. Just 2 seconds. Back in a sec, guys. I'm only just seeing to something. I'll be 2 seconds. You put in the pub. Okay, sweetheart. Right, back, guys. He's still there. Oh, 18. Keeps going up and down. At least there's somebody watching. How can I position this? I'm sorry about this camera. I ought to bring me tripod. Let me go and get me tripod. I think that's going to be better, isn't it? I don't know how long I'm going to be on now. We're getting on a bit. Mind you, I'm not in, like I say, I've got nothing to... I'll probably be going back out later on anyway. I'll not be filming that, obviously. But I've got to make most of these clear nights. I'll use this very expensive tripod. About £11. It's awful. It's alright for phone though. Right then, see if we can do something with that. It might be a bit of a weird handle, right? I know it's going to be too high. It'll be alright, I'll do it like that. I'll put it onto there. Don't know what that thing is that keeps going over the camera. There we go, that'll do. Oh! Nice shot at the door there. See what probably would be better. Well, no, I daren't do that because that might switch it off. Sorry guys, I'm not very well prepared here, am I? That'll just stay there for me. I haven't got me... Oh, there we go, that'll do. Sit around here a bit. Little bit live, but at least you can see something. Cumberland sausages, oh yes please. Lincolnshire sausages. We're on sausages now, are we? You can't beat sausages from the butchers, like the sausages that butchers make, not like mass-produced supermarket rubbish, garbage. There's another one, rubbish, garbage. Yeah, butcher's sausages. There used to be one up road here. Oh man, you've never tasted sausages like them. Yeah, in Germany, Joseph. Yeah, now we're talking. Only play at sausages here, don't we? Yeah, they do know how to make them. Price of butter. What about the price of everything? I tell you, we went in to get some cheese today. I was like, hang on a minute, I just need to go and get a bank loan out to get a block of cheese. What the hell's cheese made out these days? Do they make it out of unicorn milk? Prices are just obscene, aren't they? Yeah, I'm not surprised, Joseph. I'm not surprised. Not surprised they did. It will. I mean, I can remember it wasn't that long ago. You could get like a huge block of cheese. I don't know if we had people from UK will know this. Iceland. We've got a shopping supermarket called Iceland here in UK, and you used to get a massive block of cheese for like about £4. Used to last you about 3 months. Now it's about, a small bank loan to get a block that size. Cow shortages. Yeah, could be, Coy, could be. Yeah, it's been a bit rough, hasn't it, Coy? Last few years, really. And not a lot to write home about. I mean, not even weather, has it? I mean, apart from all drama that's happening around the world, I mean, last year, I can't remember it being as bad for astronomy as last year were. I mean, the weather. Gabe, you're probably right. I think we do, don't we? I think we do say it every year. I think you're right. But last year just was bad. I mean, I think I had telescope out like 4 times that year, last year. It was terrible. RLMC, yeah, you missed the moon bit, buddy. That were earlier. It's well set. I don't know how we got onto cheese. We've been talking about sausages and cheese. I'll have to call it small optics slash, I don't know, catering. Yeah, yeah, Tom. So true. So true. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Gabe. 10 days of rain. Mind you, do you know what? If we're going to do anything, I prefer it to be raining than when it's just dull. I call it nothing weather. Do you know, it's just overcast and it's just dull and it's just miserable outside. I'd prefer it to be throwing it down with rain, thundering and lightning or something. Do you know what I mean? Than just a dull, overcast, depressed. English weather, Coy, yeah. Mind you, we do get a lot of flack here in UK, in England, about weather. And admittedly, our weather's crazy. I mean, 1 minute it's sun shining, next minute it can be snowing. Seriously, and then after that it can be raining. After that, it could be hailstoning, and that's how our weather is. And it really is upside down. But when we do get it good, we get it good. And to be honest, there's no finer country than the British countryside in the summertime on a good day. I mean, it really is something else, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, to be honest. But we do get a lot of crap to come with it. We get a more percentage of bad weather than we do good weather. But when we do get it good, we get it good. I mean, there's nobody complains about weather more than Brits do, and it's stupid really, because we live in the finest climate in the world as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I wouldn't want to live where it's stinking hot constantly. You know, I mean, really, we have a nice regulated temperature here in the UK. It can get ridiculously hot, but most of the time it's just a kind of mediocre temperature. We get it all. Oh, my battery's about to go. I better get a charger. back up. Phone will probably like burst into flames. It's getting that hot. There we go. Yeah, there's no extremes, is the RLMC. That's the thing with our weather, and we do buffering. Sorry if it's buffering. I just noticed you were buffering. Yeah, I heard something the other day. Well, not other day. Just something I know that we in the UK get more tornadoes than in America. And it's just that ours are not as big and as powerful as what you guys get them over, in America. But we actually do get more tornadoes here in England. Now, I'm not 100% on that one, but I'm sure that's right. Which just like, what? When I first heard it. But it's not that they're just like, how do they, is it F scale? Is it F7s and F6s? I think that's how they rate tornadoes, isn't it? But yeah, we just get little ones. Not quite dust devils, a little bit bigger than dust devils, but yeah, we get more than America does. I'm just glad they're not as severe. Yeah, it's F's, isn't it, Matthew? Yeah, I thought it was F scale. What does F stand for? Oh yeah, why is that then, Matthew? Are you a storm chaser? All right, okay. Acronym and who came up with a scale, I think. Right. Oh really? You live in Tornado Alley? Oh, that's good. So how many did you get then? How many how many did you get like a year? Is it like a common thing? Is it just it's a seasonal thing, isn't it? With tornadoes? I'd love to see one. I know it almost seems a little bit odd to say that, doesn't it? Because I know there's a lot of destruction comes with them and death occasionally, unfortunately. But I would love. Yeah, seasonal thing. They are scary though, aren't they? Mother Nature. There's no more scary than Mother Nature, is there? Right. Couple of double really bad ones, right? Must be terrifying. That always seems a bit contradictory to me, though. And again, this is probably just me being ignorant and going on what you see on television and in films and that. But where you live, Joseph, is there any brick houses? Because I've never understood that. It's like, what? If you live in Tornado Alley, why do you build houses out of like wood and, and things that are going to blow away easy? So I'm just curious. Is it just? Yes, I live in a brick house. Yeah, I'm not like being funny here or like that. It's just like I say, I've probably been ignorant about this. But it's just that every time I see footage of around there, it's always like, well, why don't they build brick houses? Surely they won't blow down as often. Yeah, why do people live in flood zones? Indeed, indeed. But I think that's, I'm just always curious about that, that's all. Oops. I gotta pick that up. Yeah, Butch. I suppose it would, wouldn't it? Yeah. But surely it's going to be a little bit more substantial, though, isn't it, than brick house. I think these houses that because they're all made of engineering bricks, and I mean, if you don't know what engineering bricks are, they are like bell metal. I mean, they take some right hammer. I think they were built in 30s, these houses, and they are rock solid houses. I think they'd take a good whack from a tornado. I think roof would probably go, but I think walls would stay remaining. Yeah, they are like reinforced. It's what you use in like a below damp course. Usually you'll use that kind of brickwork. They're a really hard brick. They're not prone to getting blown from like frost blown, and like sometimes you get on normal red clay bricks when you see some of the face gone off them. That's what they call frost blown. Water freezes behind it and it blows the front of the brick off. Well, you don't get any of that with engineering bricks. They are really rock hard. They're like steel, really. Honestly, they're almost like steel. Drilling into them, I've got through some right drill bits, drilling into engineering bricks in my time. Really, Tom? 1837? Wow, is it haunted? Have you got any ghosts? 1837, wow, that's a really old house, isn't it? Fantastic, I bet that's awesome. Indeed they are, RLMC, so am I. I was in building trade for about 25 years. Good bricks, but a nightmare to work with. Rip your fingers to pieces as well, don't they? Horrible to lay. Really sharp. Oh, Matthew. No, we do get our. There's a lot of Victorian houses in the UK. Yeah, a lot of Victorian. But most now, the oldest most now that survived, around about 30s for the oldest ones. But you still, I mean, a lot of terraced houses are Victorian. Yeah, that is really sad, Joseph. Yeah, it is. I don't like to see that. We have come on, RLMC. What's it called? Listed buildings, isn't it? Something called listed building. I don't know if you have that over there, where you can't touch them, you can't do things like that. They have importance. There's somewhere in Sheffield, just down the road here, and there's a new building development going off there. But there's just a wall. I can't remember what it is. It's a wall from an old building, and that's all there is. One front wall. There's no other part of the building, and they're not allowed to touch it. They cannot knock it down. I mean, it's not even a building. It's just a wall, like one side of a building that's there. But because it's listed, they've got to leave it. They've got to keep it there. But yeah, it is sad that they're not called. I don't like to see that. It's like when you see old businesses, you know, like an old car workshop or something like that, you know, that were like just a small business and it's just derelict now. And you think, oh, all them you know, bright ideas that went off in that shop and you know, things that went off and you just see it all derelict. It's just, I don't know, I just find it sad. Anything, as far as I'm concerned. Nothing is made to the quality it once was, especially telescopes. Um, well, I say especially telescopes. Optics have certainly come on leaps and bounds, and they can mass produce cheaper optics now. You know, lenses and mirrors. They've definitely come on. But as it comes to like the more important things like the tubes and the focuses, yeah, plastic is a good thing. I mean, you look around now in your room or wherever you are, how many things can you see that are made of plastic? It's just everywhere. Um, but, you know, certain things just don't call for being made with plastic, like a focuser. I just, plastic focusers. And things happen like what's happened to mine. I've ripped all thing, the rack, the teeth. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know if I can show you actually. We've got a screwdriver on there. I'll pull it out and show you. I don't know whether the camera will pick it up. Look at state of that. Let's see if it'll. I don't know if it'll focus. Trying to show you where the damaged bit is. The damaged bit's just there. That little area there. There's no teeth at all. So I've just got a dead spot there. Which is absolutely because look at this. This is what I don't understand. You've got this lovely little adapter here, you know, that's got a T fitting on for a DLSR. God, you can tell it's getting late, can't you? A digital camera. Yeah, all that on, all metal, but yeah, then on this stupid plastic tube. And so yeah, all teeth being ragged off there. So I've got to get a new focuser. So when I get to that part, I have to do it manually. Pulling and tugging, should I say. But yeah. And that's the only problem with plastic. Things like that happen. Yeah, DSLR, that's the one I'm looking for. No, it's moulded. It's moulded, Tom. I was looking at. This is the other. I don't know if this will pull out. Oh, it will. I was looking at this one. See, I've got a spare here. This is from an old refractor, and I mean, I could have cut it down. Like it's a little bit long. I could quite easily cut it down. It has a perfect gold, but it's the wrong. Look at that. I've never. You probably can't tell, but they're two different diameters. And I've never come across that before. You know, so look, this one nearly fits inside this one. Look, so it just doesn't house the tube at all.
Yeah, they are, Gabe. They are. And yeah, especially in the cold. I just don't know why they do it. Well, I do know why they do it. It's an entry level telescope. You know, they're cutting corners for cost, trying to keep the cost down. But I'd just rather pay an extra tenner, you know, an extra whatever, £20, just to have a I mean, it doesn't have to be you know, anything flashy. Just this made out of metal, cheap metal, you know, monkey metal as we call it here in the UK. Just monkey metal will do it better than this plastic. Um, when I got it, even though I did buy it second hand, it had never been used. So after 3 years, that's what's happened to it. But like I say, I had locked it down. Um, you know, when the tension screws up, I'd locked it down because it was slipping a little bit, and I forgot I'd tightened it down. And I went to turn the focus and just crunched it all, just snapped straight away, no messing. Because the actual cog that turns on these, that's metal. You know, that's made out of steel. So, I mean, it's just waiting to be a disaster, isn't it? This has got no resistance at all. Yeah, that's an idea, isn't it? RLMC, yes, you could do. It does go rock hard, doesn't it? Baking soda and super glue. It's a great technique. That I've mended all sorts with that technique. Pot metal, yeah, pot metal, monkey metal. But it would be better, wouldn't it? It would be just something like that would be better than plastic. And I can imagine that sort of cheap. You know, like they make toy cars. You know, toys out of that kind of metal, don't they? It's got to be better than this garbage, plastic. I were even thinking of somehow taking this off. You know, getting a coping saw or something like that, because it's only plastic, and actually cutting that strip off and doing the same with that one, and then just sticking this one onto that one. Then I thought, well, for 30 quid, you know, I can get a new focuser. Is it really worth the hassle? But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to spend any considerable amount of money on it, because I don't need a Crayford focuser. You know, I'd like a Crayford focuser, and I would have one if well, I could get one at the right price. But you know, I won't want to pay that kind of money for what I use a focuser for. For astrophotography, yeah, probably. Issues, that makes a change, doesn't it? Me having camera issues. Yeah, Tom, better off with a new one. No problem, OG. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us, buddy. We've finished looking at the moon now. The moon set a while ago now. This camera handle's terrible, isn't it? But we're just having a little chat now. Don't know how long I'm going to be on for. It's getting late. It's now 3 a.m. in the morning here in the UK. So, and I have been on, well, I've been on this stream nearly 3 hours. But feel free to ask any questions or anything like that. Like I say, we're just having a general chit chat at the minute. Excuse me, folks, just going to have a quick drag. Don't smoke, kids. It's not good for you. I started to have a look at TikTok. Has any of you been on TikTok just of late? Now, I thought that were just full of stupid dance videos, but it's actually all right, TikTok now, you know. Their algorithm is so much better than YouTube's. And when you first download it, it's full of what you expect TikTok to be, you know, silly dance videos and that. But as soon as you start searching for what you're interested in, such as astronomy, you'll just be full of astronomy, and there's loads of astronomy on there, a lot more than I thought. And it's getting quite good, TikTok now. I have set, I don't know if you saw me post, did you see me post about that? I have set a TikTok account up because I'd like to start doing lives on that, because I think more people we get interested in this hobby, the better, you know, and the more platforms I can get on, I'll do it. But I haven't posted anything on there yet. But if you haven't got TikTok yet, get it. Don't be put off by all silly videos that you may have seen, because that's what I thought. But it's getting there. They're making longer videos now on TikTok. Because before it was only like 30-second videos, weren't they, or something like that. Night, Gabe. Sorry, buddy. We're looking at the chat. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for joining us. You take care, friend. And I will see you again on the next one, hopefully, buddy. But yeah, TikTok. I don't know what I'm talking about TikTok, but it's a lot better than you may first think. Give it a go. Like I say, I'm on there now. I can't go live though until I get about 1,000. I think it's 1,000 subscribers. You've got to have on there to go live. It's a bit odd. I'm sure all that'll change, but it's just another platform, isn't it? Just to share the interest of astronomy. All right, already. Yeah, Joseph. Do you know what? Right, I was the same. I noticed that. Have you ever seen a film called Shocker? Yeah, it's like a horror type film. It's called Shocker, and that's the first time I noticed that. Americans saying "all right already," and I'm like, what? What are they saying that for? What's already bit for? Yeah, American. Yeah, all right already. Yeah, it's. I did notice that. I noticed that in Shocker for some reason. God, how old's that film? Oh, good. Mind you, though, talking about that, where I'm originally from Sheffield, and all right, Matthew, see you in a bit, buddy. I'm originally from Sheffield, and Sheffield accent is terrible. Apologies for anybody from Sheffield who's watching this. It really is hard to understand if you're not from Sheffield. So, you know, I was speaking Venetian. Yeah, not Venetian. That is a place, isn't it? That's Venice. I was trying to be clever and thinking a planet then. All right then, Jupiterian, Saturn. And because the words, I mean, school, we were scoil. Yeah, there's some scoil. What when I moved up, I was only a kid when I moved up here. And they say, yeah, what's scoil like round here? You'd like look at me. What have you just said? What's just come out of your mouth? But everything were oil. If there were an "u" in it, like school or goal or something like that, it's oil. So it won't be school, it'd be scoil. It won't be he scored a goal, it'd be he scored a goal. Crazy, isn't it? And like saying it now as a like, you know what I mean, I've got this accent drilled into me now from Derbyshire. It just sounds so ridiculous. Yeah, Joseph, it is. It is a bit, yeah, a bit like and they wouldn't say no. They don't say in Sheffield. You don't say no, and you don't say don't. You wouldn't say road, right? You would say it as no, don't, and road. I don't know. I don't know. It was dark road. It's an awful accent. I don't care what anybody says. Sheffield accent's terrible. Yeah. Weird. But I think this accent now. I mean, unless you're from, England. Americans and everybody else will just think we've just got this accent. But I think it's a neutral. Derbyshire accent's very neutral. South, it's something. It's the same as anywhere, same as any country. Who's a southerner, who's a northerner, and everything. But in the Midlands, it is a pretty middle of the road accent. Especially Derbyshire. There's nothing really to it as such. Liverpool, they're from Liverpool. Manchester, they're from Manchester. Sheffield, they're from Sheffield. But somebody from Chesterfield, you'd have to think, oh, where's he from? Because there's no real twang to it. Hello, Alan. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Right, what you got here? Hi, Jason. Everything going well? I have a question. You have advice to reach focus when using the Barlows in the focuser. Yeah, it can be a problem, can't it, sometimes? It's your inward travel that you're going to have a problem with, not so much your outward travel. With inward travel, you're limited, but with outward travel, you can just simply use an extension of some kind. And what I use, I haven't got it handy yet, is another Barlow lens. One that, for instance, for outward travel, I would just simply take the lens out. Yeah, and just have this as an extension tube. Yeah, that's how I would do it for the outward track. Then you've got a lot more. You've just got that for inward. Like I say, you are limited. You can get focal reducers and things like that, but it's just adding another bit of glass for the light to pass through. So you are going to lose a little bit of brightness. But yeah, did you say something about moving the eyepiece in and out? You can do things like that. There's no reason why you can't do that. I often do, as you put your eyepiece in, you don't always have to have it if you've got enough barrel to get your focus. So do it that way. Another thing to try, if you're using a Barlow, is instead of, let's have a look. 2 minutes, I'll just grab my now, I don't know if you're using that's what you can do if you're using a reflector. If you're using a refractor, and you're using any kind of star diagonal, what a lot of people do is they use the Barlow like that. Okay, I've got an old scope here. Yeah, so that would be going in like that, and they use the Barlow like that, and that can be hard to get focus as well. There's two things you can do here. One is have a way with your diagonal altogether, okay, and just have it and set it up like that. That is going to alter your focal length. Another way to do it is to have this before your diagonal. All right, so you would have it set up, so you get your Barlow, you put your Barlow in there, then you'd put your diagonal in, yeah, like that, okay, and then your eyepiece in like that. And again, that's another way you can play around with the focal lengths to achieve focus. So have a go with those different methods, and see how you go with there. But yeah, like I say, there's no reason why you can't also get that extra bit of focal length just by lifting up your eyepiece as well. So hope that may solve the problem for you. How many scopes? Not many koi fish. I've got about 5, I think, at the minute. I did have about 12, 13 at one time, but I had to get rid of them all, unfortunately. Yes, Joseph, are the essence of a telescope, or a camera. Without them, a camera and a telescope is useless, innit? You know, you're going to get all your views. I mean, it's the last thing that light passes through on a telescope. It's the first thing light passes through on a camera. So that has got to be good quality, you know, because that's what the final image is down to. And this is what we do put all this money into, really, is eyepieces and lenses at the end of the day. You're quite right. I mean, some eyepieces are literally £700-800, you know, and more, some of them. And that's just for an eyepiece. And lenses, you know, they can get into literally thousands. Yeah, you're right, koi fish. You, in actual fact, have got 2 small refractors. That's what binoculars are. And that's all that binoculars are, the 2 small telescopes joined together. Yeah, you're right, Matthew. There's a lot of astronomy you can do without anything. Um, you know, you don't need a telescope, binoculars. You get yourself a star chart. That's all you need to do a lot of astronomy, and that's how I started off. And I think a lot of astronomers, my age group, probably started off, you know, just with their eyes and a good book. And I spent hours just with that, you know, no binoculars, nothing. You know, I was only a kid. I couldn't afford it. You know, it was just my parents that were going to buy it, and they weren't going to buy me telescopes because back in the 80s, you know, I mean, telescopes were either trash or astronomically expensive. But taking pictures and that, yeah, just if you've got a phone, nearly all modern phones will take good photographs of it. I mean, you're never going to get the quality of an astro camera or a proper mirrorless camera, but you certainly can get some good results with just a phone camera. I mean, I've taken some great pictures of the Ring Nebula and things like that just with a phone camera. Too right, yeah. Yeah, I know, guys. Right, hang on, let me shift it. I didn't think of that actually. I've got it actually on the cooling fan. Sorry about the buzz, and thank you for mentioning that, OG, about the buzzing. I'm using an HP laptop, and it's an old laptop, and the fan keeps kicking in. So what I'll do, I'll move that up out of the way a bit. The only reason I'm using my laptop actually is so I can see you better on the chat, because my eyes are that bad these days. Does that has that gone away a bit? Hey up, I've got a tripod attacking me. Does that sound any better? Is that a little bit quieter, guys? Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. It must have been driving you mad. I'd love to take this phone out of. I've still got me, you know, the eyepiece holder for your phones that so you can put them to your telescope. I've still got that attached, but my phone is on the maximum of the clamp that holds it together. Yeah, it's too wide, so it's on the maximum, so it's tight in. So if I pull my phone out, it's going to switch the off button, turn you off. So I can't take it out of that clamp, so I can't really balance it better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick it on the tripod and sort it out that way. I'll put it somewhere. We'll find somewhere to put it. I know where I can put it. Sorry about the noise, guys. Sorry if you're wearing headphones. I tell you, pods in. War of the Worlds. It's like War of the Worlds in my house. And none of them are very good. You don't get out flash on my channel, do you? No fancy backdrops or green screen, just a nice purple pot rack in back. Quality on this channel, mate, I tell you. We don't cut no corners. Hey, that sounded like Chewbacca, didn't it? Sounded like Chewie of Star Wars. Right, what's that like? That's a bit better, isn't it? Is that buzzing better now, guys? Let's see what we do. I can't see. Chat now. Right, here we go. Let's have a look. What are you saying to me? For the issue, Jason, about to get sharp view. When you see Jupiter and Saturn, it looks well, but when I see Mars, it seems that it doesn't reach focus. Yeah, Mars is always going to be a bit of a struggle to see detail on. The best time to see Mars is when it's at opposition, and it's at opposition soon actually. Can't remember when it is. I'll have to look into it. I can't remember off the top of my head. But Mars is a bit of a challenge to see in small telescopes. You do really need 5 inches and above to get detail. I mean, when it was at opposition last year, or was it year before that? I got some fantastic views. Probably the best I've ever seen Mars. I even got to see the ice cap on Mars, and it is on YouTube. It's on my channel somewhere. That if you look on my playlist under observation, and it's saying with all planets really is find out when they're at opposition, and that's especially if you've got a small scope. That's the best time to look at it. But don't give up. Like I say, Mars is a challenge, especially when it's not at opposition. You're not going to see any detail on Mars unless you've got a considerably big telescope. But just keep trying. Like I say, opposition is the time to look. It might not so much be a focus issue that you're having. It might just be that it's just not giving enough light. What size scope did you say you were using? You have a budget scope. What is it? A Concha-Motor 500? No, I don't think I. Do you know what? I don't think I am familiar with that telescope. To be honest, Alan. What aperture is it? All right, OJ. Sorry, OG. not OJ. That's a different person, isn't it? No worries, buddy. If I'm still here, I will see you in a bit, buddy. Hello, my friend. How is Colombia? Colombia. We've got people from all over the world. I've had some people from all over the world. There's only 8 of us in a minute, but oh, it's 140. Yeah, if it's yeah, Alan, you you're going to struggle to see detail with that aperture unless it's at opposition, basically. But it doesn't mean, don't let that put you off. You should still see a nice colour of it. You should still see that it's, got that like an orangey, reddy colour to it. More orangey than red, actually. Still an interesting target to look at. But opposition's your time to look for. And like I say, opposition is coming up this year. I'm sure it is pretty soon. Now for you, if I've got a phone. A Barlow lens might help as well with Mars, but not too strong. Remember, 2 times maximum. Don't go into your 5 times Barlow. Where's my 5? This is my 5 times. I don't think you guys have seen this yet, have you? You'll have seen them before, but you've not seen it on my channel. This is what SV Boney sent me. 5 times Barlow. 5 times Barlow. It's just, they wanted me to review it. But how do I review this? I don't use them. And the thing is, I've already advised people on my channel not to get these, for visual work. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, the quality's there on them. They're very good quality. To say they were 5 times Barlow, I mean, oh, look at that, I've dropped a dust cover. I've never dropped a dust cover before, have I? Oh no, I have to drop something. But yeah, they're good quality Barlow, but they're just too powerful. Astrophotography, they're alright for smaller chip cameras. And for the moon, for some really good close-ups of the moon, I suppose 5 times are alright. But yeah, you want a 2 times Barlow is your maximum in Barlows, really. I did have a 2 times Barlow here. It's in end of the telescope, isn't it? Yeah, and if you are going for a Barlow, I can't recommend these enough. The Celestron Omnis. I ain't got the lens. Oh, it's there. These are fantastic. Again, another budget Barlow lens. And there's still about that. I think they range, they do vary. You've got to be careful with them though, because there's a lot of con artists, especially on eBay, Wish and things like that, that are charging around about £90 for these. Honestly, I did a video on it actually. I called it the Barlow Conspiracy. But yeah, be careful that you don't get ripped off. You don't want to be paying no more than, £40 or whatever your country's equivalent is to that. Ooh, I've got hiccups for these Celestron 2 times. Very good Barlows for the money, but they're not £90 worth. But the great thing about these is they've got that adjustable cell. It's not adjustable, removable lens cell. So if you're not familiar with that, you can take them off. I can unscrew that. Oh, sorry about that. Headphone wearers, beware. Yeah, you can unscrew that and then just use just the cell on its own and attach that to your eyepiece on the filter thread there, like that. Okay, and just thread that onto your eyepiece, and now that has turned your Barlow, your 2 times Barlow, into a 1.5 Barlow. So you're getting 2 Barlows for the price of 1, basically. They're so versatile. And you've also got you've got an extension tube that you can use. You know, there's another thing to it. You've almost tripled your eyepiece collection, yeah, because you can make that into 3 eyepieces. Yeah, you can use it as an eyepiece on its own, an eyepiece with 1.5, and the same eyepiece with a 2 times Barlow. So it's like, you know, 3 eyepieces and you suddenly got a plethora of them. So yeah, if you're going to get a Barlow, get one with a removable cell. That's my tip of the day. As you can see, this is just a fixed. You can't take this off. So that's how most of them come. But they do occasionally come with them removable cells. Get one of those. I usually use 3 times Barlow. I think that the problem could be collimation. Could well be collimation. The easiest thing to check your collimation, right, is to just, if you're not aware of this, is to do a simple star test. Okay, now all you have to do is pick a bright star. Some people say put a high-powered eyepiece in, put a low. To be honest, just put an eyepiece in there and defocus the star. Okay, you want to really knock it out of focus, and you'll just get a big round out of focus blob. But what you'll notice is you can either see your spider, you know where your secondary is attached. You'll be able to see that, and you also can see like rings where it just works with how it's out of focus. And what you want is to see that everything's central. Okay, once you've defocused that star, that cross from your spider that's holding your secondary, that's spot on in the centre of that out of focus star. And then the rings that you can see, they're like really faint rings. Make sure they're all even and concentric. You know, like if you were to drop a stone into still water, you get them rings and concentric rings. That's how they want to be. And you'll be able to see that just by defocusing on a star. And that'll be able to, it's a quick, easy go-to check, like a field check if you like, for your collimation. And you can actually do that on site as well, you know, and without any lasers or Cheshires, and just play around, you know, just alter your mirror slightly until your out of focus star all becomes even, and that'll get you through the night, you know what I mean, until you can do a better job of it with some tools. But don't be too concerned with collimation. This is what a lot of beginners get obsessed with, and even seasoned astronomers get really OCD about it. And it's something that you haven't really got to worry too much about, what I call precise collimation. A telescope doesn't have to be exactly in collimation to give reflector for astrophotography, that it is important that you get it to near as damn it precise collimation. But for general visual astronomation, if it's out a bit, you're not going to notice. Okay, you'll not notice for visual. Okay, RLMC, I'm sorry if I missed that. If you're still here, pal, thank you so much for your contribution, mate, and hanging around. It's been good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I hope to see you tomorrow or the next one I do. Yeah, take care, pal. Take it easy. I will see you again, friend. Yeah, Joseph. Well, if you've got it perfect, then your collimation's good. Yeah, that's all that matters. And it's like I say, as long as you're happy with what you're seeing, then it's good. If you're struggling to get focus all the time, and you just cannot get good focus, then that usually means you're out of collimation. And where you're going to notice it is on a higher magnification, such as when you're looking at the planets and things like that. Low magnification, you're not really going to notice it. It's only when you start pushing your telescope a bit that collimation starts becoming an issue. But I mean, this Skywatcher that I've got, I mean, I collimate it, well, I check the collimation when I remember to, because I never have to collimate it. That's one great thing I can say about this Skywatcher. It holds collimation like no scope I've ever had before. I had I can't even remember what make it were now. We're a Celestron. If we're a Celestron, you don't have to breathe on that. If somebody sneezed in the same room, I'd know I'd have to collimate it. But this Skywatch is fantastic. It really is. I mean, admittedly, I don't move it very much. I mean, I move it from one room to outside. Conditions, like in winter time, and moving about, things move. It really holds really well. Yeah, good to hear, Joseph. Yeah, because there's, collimation. It is a bit. It is a pain. A pain, and it's not. If you get what I mean. You don't want to be. But I'm all for fixed mirrors. Fixed mirrors are the way forward, in my opinion, and why they don't do them in every modern telescope is beyond me. Why do we need collimation if you don't need to collimate it? It's just another. There's so many things to adjust and sort out when you're out there under night sky. We having to worry about collimation as well. So fixed mirrors now are, well, they're starting to become the thing, aren't they? There'll be a lot of purists that want to keep it to collimation, you know what I mean? But everybody that I know that own one says they've had them for years and never had a problem with them. So yeah, fixed collimation. If you're scared of collimation, buy a fixed collimation. Buy a fixed mirror, shall I say? Cassegrains, no, not as far as I know. No, they're not, are they? You still? I'm trying to think now. It's been that long since I've played around with a Cassegrain. The mirror doesn't. You see, they focus by, instead of the focuser going in and out, it's actually the mirror that moves in and out. So the mirror is actually altering the focal length. But as far as I know, I'm sure you do have to collimate them. I'm sure you do. Years since I've had a Cassegrain. Years. I'm surprised at that. 10B50s, 10B50 binoculars are a good size for astronomy. In fact, 7B50s are even better. I would say you're going to have to start looking at tripods, somewhere supporting the binocular, because even you've probably already found even with 10B50s, it can get a little bit shaky. But yeah, 10B50s are a perfect size. And especially when it comes to binoculars, you want lower power. You don't want higher power in binoculars. It's a big misconception, actually, that astronomy is all about magnification and loads of magnification. It's not. It's about how much light that you can gather. This is why telescopes are bigger, not because they magnify more. It's because they gather more light. And more light that they can gather, the brighter their images. and the brighter their image is, the more magnification you can put on. Yeah, even though magnification is a key point, it's not the main factor when it comes to telescopes. So when it comes to binoculars, high magnification, remember, whenever you're magnified 10 times, say, in a pair of 10 binoculars, every bit of movement that you make is also magnified 10 times. So the more magnification you get, the harder it is to keep that image still. So 7x50 binoculars is just still a decent amount of because 7 times is more than you actually think. It doesn't sound, if you start comparing it to telescopes, it doesn't sound much, but it's 7 times magnification. You can, you know, it really does bring things a lot closer than you think. And also, it's going to keep that steadiness down. It's going to keep you be able to keep that, the image nice and steady on lower magnification. But if you're struggling to see with 10x50, but it could be your air quality. There's not a lot you can do about air quality, is there? Unfortunately. It was years, right? I've been into astronomy for about 5 years, 6 years. Then I found out that there was such a thing as a Cassegrain telescope. I thought there were only 2 types of telescopes when I first started. I thought there were reflectors and refractors. I thought it were a Mandela effect. No, I didn't. I didn't think it were a Mandela effect. It didn't even exist then. I probably, if it had existed, I'd have thought it were a Mandela effect. Because I'm like, what's that? Cassegrain telescope? You know, it was years ago this, like. But yeah, I like Cassegrains actually. Like I said, I've owned one for a short time years ago. The old, Celestron, the orange one. Remember the orange one? Really ancient thing, old thing. But they're great. I love them. I just love the practicality of them and how compact they are. The thing is with Cassegrains, they do like a bouncy light. As light, instead of light just coming in, hitting the back mirror, and then coming back up onto a secondary mirror, they go down, they hit your main primary mirror, then it's reflected back onto a convex mirror, which shines it back down again through the eyepiece. So the light's actually, being lights like concertinaed, if you like. So if you stretch all that light out, you've got a really long focal length, like 1,000 focal length, but the tube's only like, 8 inches long. That's the great thing about them. And they look really bling, don't they? Cassegrains and that. They look really bling inside. I do like the look of them. C8. There you go. That's the one I'm looking for. C8. Yeah, that's how they do it. It's just a way of folding the light up, if you like, instead of it just being one long beam. Quite clever. They're really clever thing, really. Great for planets. You get big Cassegrains and they're real planet busters. They're fantastic. But the problem is with them, they do get to be like little, and I mean heavy. There's a lot of glass in there. When they have that correctional lens in there, then they have the mirror and then the other mirror. Oh yeah, they get heavy. But yeah, they are really great. Have you seen that little Cassegrain that's come out? Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. It's like a turquoise colour, and it's only about this big. and it's a little Cassegrain. I'd love to have a go. They're meant to be brilliant. Um, oh, thank you, Alan. It's good of you, mate. No problem at all. Thank you, buddy. Sky and Nature. What's Sky and... is that channel Sky and Nature? Yeah, it looks great, and the good thing about it, it's got a little service hash on it, so you can. It looks like a toy, but it's not. It's a proper little telescope. It's smaller than this thing, and it's a Cassegrain, and it's got a little service hash here where you can just lift it off and see all how it works inside. They're brilliant, and they're not that expensive, I don't think. And they're quite cheap for what they are. But something like that, you know, for like camping or something like that'd be fantastic. I'm gonna have to get myself one of them. Whoever makes them, if you're watching, send me one. I'll review it. Oh, Matthew, right. The channel, that's not the name. I forgot something like that. Yeah. You astronomy and nature. You're thinking of. That's a great channel. They're not doing that anymore, are they? I know what you mean now. Have they reviewed that? Have they? Ah, it's astronomy and nature. I think you're talking about. Talking about astronomy and nature. Oh, I can't remember the guy's name. It is a good channel, that. A really good channel. There's some good stuff on that. They don't upload anymore, do they? I think he used to have a shop, didn't he? And the bloke that run the channel and the shop, he unfortunately he died. Only a young bloke, and I think that's why I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. It is a long stream, isn't it? Listen, guys, I think we're going to wrap things up here tonight. It's really early hours of the morning now. It's like 3:48 a.m. here in the UK. So I think we're probably going to start winding down a little bit now and wrapping this one up for tonight. But it's been a good one, hasn't it? It's been fun. It's been a bit of fumbling about. Yeah, me too, Joseph. Thank you so much for your company, my friend. It's been good to talk to you all. I think I'm going to wrap it up now as well. It's I don't know if it's my bedtime. My time, well, sun's going to be up in about an hour, so I might just get Jupiter in because my telescope's still set up outside, and I know that'll be up, and I might just have a quick view of the planets. Not live, like I'll set all this down and probably go and have a look at that. So yeah. That's it, 60mm mag. Yeah, mag. That's the one. Thanks for that, Matthew. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, if you look that up, guys, for a decent little telescope. I've not looked through one, but I've just heard good things about them. They're a bit like the TARDIS. They're a lot bigger than they look. You know, you get a lot bigger views than you'd expect to see from them, by all accounts. Oh, sorry about that, Matthew. Yeah, it does that sometimes, doesn't it? Doctor Who reference detected. Yeah, I'll be getting a copyright box, won't I? Something like that next. Copyright strike. You're not allowed to say Doctor Who. Hey, Frack's back. How are you, mate? Yes, it is. Yeah, the 127 Mark, fantastic little scope. Agreed. In fact, I might get one of those. And the amount of things I keep saying I'm going to get. But they are, then 127s. In fact, one of them is, I think it were only a 127 is one of the best views I've ever had of Jupiter. And it were only a small telescope. I'm sure it was something like a 17 Mark. It were fantastic. One of the clearest. You know, it were almost like a photograph I were looking at. It were only obviously small. I mean, Jupiter's small in it in the eyepiece in most telescopes, but I could see the details beautifully on it. And that will be a 4-inch Mark. But yeah, for the moon, I mean, you really don't need, you know, a 3-inch tabletop. I'll do you just fine. A 3-inch tabletop. I mean, we were on about it earlier in the stream. Very underrated, and people just think the toys, and they're not going to see anything out of them. And it's far from it. They're really good, especially now they know how to make cheap mirrors good. If you get what I mean, they're making budget mirrors now that are optically pretty sound. Well, just take for instance Skywatcher and Celestron. I mean, they mass-produce mirrors now. You know, literally thousands and thousands and thousands, and they're only cheaply made. Really, at the end of the day, this is why telescopes, you know, are only £200. You know, a brand new telescope. I mean, for a inch scope, when I first started, you know, a ridiculous amounts of money, because most of them were handmade. You know, they weren't mass produced like they are Celestial and Skywatcher are. They were all like I mean, my first telescope was a handmade, hand-ground mirror. I didn't buy it from a supplier. I bought it off somebody I knew, basically. Matthew, I don't understand how come, since you can do mirrors cheap, scopes would start to evolve to multi-segmented designs. Do you mean in the mirror itself? Multi-segmented. Well, they do that in the super telescopes, don't they? They do segmented mirrors. But in, you know, your everyday entry-level scopes, I can't see it really. I can't see where they would actually benefit from. But I know on these big telescopes, they are individual cells, aren't they? And each cell is computer controlled, and they collimate it that way. You know, each cell's about, God knows how big, 3 foot in diameter or whatever. And they each move individually, and that's how it's incredible, isn't it, how they can program something like that to be so precise and be so big and to be optically perfect. I mean, mind-blowing, really. Yeah, multi-segmented is really for big telescopes, isn't it? And because it's just purely, you can't get a piece of glass that big, and you know, it'd be hard to make a piece of glass. And this is why you're very limited to refractors. Why you don't see enormous refractors. I think largest refractor is 40 inches. I think that's the largest refractor in the world. I might be wrong, but I'm sure it's 40 inches. And the problem is that the glass is too heavy to actually hold. They can't make lenses any bigger than that, because when the refractor is pointed up at the sky, the sheer weight of not the housing, the glass itself, the lens moves under its own weight. So there's a limit to how big they can make lenses and refractors. But that's why they do make them segmented in reflectors, see. It's just getting a piece of glass that big. A blank, you know. But it still blows me away how simple a telescope is. I often think that, you know, I mean, when you first hear about telescopes, you don't know anything about them. I thought that in a telescope there were loads of lenses all the way down the tube. Yeah, there were a lens at front, there were a lens, a lens. You know, I thought there were multiple lenses. When I found out it was, you know, you could simply have a telescope by just two lenses, it blew my mind. I'm like, what? That can't be any good. And like, you think of a reflector, you know, it's just two mirrors. It's amazing how simple they are in design, but just, you know, what we do, haven't they? Hey, Deep Sky Hunter, how we doing, my friend? Very good to see you. Unfortunately, you've just come at the tail end of the stream. We have been on hours and hours and hours, and I know it's the time difference, isn't it? But it's good to see you, mate. I will be wrapping up pretty soon because it is nearly 4 a.m. in the morning here in the UK. But yeah, really good to see you, mate. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, how are you? How are you? Let's make sure I've not missed anybody in the chat. Is that AM? Is that AM Deep Sky? 8:30 in the morning or evening? I think it's getting that way, isn't it? It's getting beauty sleep time. Well, I'd need a lot of that. I'd need to sleep for 100 years to improve my beauty, but. Oh. Oh, you're very welcome, Matthew. Thank you. You're more than welcome. I love doing this, you know. Um, just this chit chat's great, but it's great to help people. That's what it's all about. Well, don't work too hard, mate. Sorry, you've got to be tucked up inside working when it's clear outside. But yeah. Yeah, don't work too hard, mate. Have a good day at work, and we'll see you soon. How's the condition of my telescope mirror? It's okay, mate. It's okay. It's fine, as far as I know. It's not the best condition in the world, but it's okay. Probably will need resurfacing soon, actually, but I won't have it resurfaced. I shall just buy another telescope, because by the time you've, you know, sent it off, had it resilvered, and then sent back, you know, it virtually cost you a telescope. So, especially for a 5-inch mirror, it's just not worth it. Don't worry about it too much, Deep Sky Hunter. Mirrors have to be pretty bad, and I mean really bad, to start affecting your views. If there's a bit of dust and a bit of pollen and things like that, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You can do more damage cleaning mirrors than just leaving them alone. Trust me. Like I say, a bit of dust. Do you know Chris? Go and subscribe to him. Is great for astrophotography, if you're into astrophotography for beginners. But anyway, he was telling me a similar story about I think it was his uncle And his mirror, I mean, you could hardly see your reflection in it. You know, it was all the silver had come off it, it got dirt on it, but yet the image was crystal clear. You know, you just look at this mirror. There is no way you. And I've seen mirrors personally myself in the past, where it's like that mirror's, you know, it's pitted. You can see all the silverings coming off it, and this were a big mirror, a 12 inch. It were in a 12-inch Dob, and you know what? It never affected the views at all. So, like I say, unless mirrors are really, really dirty, or you've dropped something down them, like some paint, or I don't know, you've dropped your tea down them, or whatever, leave them. Leave them. It'll be fine. No worries, buddy. Yeah. Always be cautious about cleaning mirrors. Like I say, unless it's necessary, leave it. Leave it. What did I do with that? Keep losing things, guys. Must be getting late because I'm losing things. Oh, there it is. Oh, session on a telescope 3 weeks ago. I was photographer. As long ago as that? 3 weeks ago. Why is it? Have you been clouded out with weather and everything? Well, it's awful when it's like that, isn't it? Yeah. I was looking at M57 last night. It was the last thing I looked at, actually. In fact, I struggle finding it. I mean, I view quite often. I just point the finder there and I'm virtually there. But last night I was struggling to find M57. I'm like, what's going on here? And I think my finder was a little bit out. I think it turned out what it were. But yeah, it's a great little target, isn't it? Oh, I love looking at it. It's an averted vision, M57 on smaller telescopes. But it's a lovely little target. Really, thunder and lightning. Well, they've been threatening storms and thunder here in England for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We've had red weather warnings and all sorts, you know, severe thunderstorms to hit the UK. I've never seen a thing. You know what I mean? It's like, what's all fuss about? We don't half make a big deal of weather in England, honestly. It just makes such a big deal of it. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's like this. It's been predicted massive heat wave to hit the UK. You know, tropical temperatures and all this. It just means it's going to be warm for a couple of days. We don't have to go over the top with weather in this country. Yes. It's always an anticipation. It's like that time of waiting for your new telescope to arrive. I know that feeling well, OG. It's yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? Takes forever for things to arrive sometimes. Yeah, but you should enjoy that, mate. Yeah. What's that? It's a 9-inch, did you say? 9.25. Nice, very nice. Good size telescope, that good aperture. It's an unusual size. cope for almost a year without no stars. You live in the desert, dear OG? Oh, fantastic. You live in the desert. Well, that's just an astronomer's dream, isn't it? Wow. So what's the portal sky there is then when you're is OG? Is it? I bet it's low, isn't it? But it's around about 3, isn't it? In desert. A proper desert child then. Wow. Nice. Yeah, it's windy. Yeah, I mean that's. I don't go out. You know me. If it's really windy, I don't bother usually, unless I'm going to do binoculars or something like that. Because I mean, you need your mount to be like the Rock of Gibraltar, don't you? To you've got a real solid mount to stand a chance when it's windy. Um, Dobs are best for wind. Dobsonians are good wind telescopes. Yeah, I know feeling OG. I know feeling. It's like everybody that don't live in England thinks that England's just London. You think if you're from England, you're from London. No, no, London's a completely, London's its own city. Way down south, about 400 mile that way. Ah, it's fantastic, mate, where you live. Yeah, I'm envious. Fantastic. That's it. On dark skies, and ideal conditions like you can get. I mean, you don't need a telescope. It's just your own two eyes, and you do an amazing amount of astronomy. I mean, I bet the Milky Way and things like that. I mean, the Milky Way and dark skies is just something else. It really is. And Andromeda. Andromeda under dark skies. It's incredibly big. You really do get a sense of how big it is when you can see it with the naked eye. It's quite, a daunting thing that's there hanging above you. It's quite strange, really. Hey, Top Spray, that sounds good. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. Um, there was a YouTuber I'm subscribed to. I don't know if you've heard of Red's Rhetoric. He lives where they do alt launches. He lives about 2 miles from where they do alt rocket launches, and he does some fantastic uploads of it. I often say, God, that must be amazing. And the sound and the roar, I mean, it sounds awesome just through speakers on your computer. So what it must be like to be there and to experience a launch must be something else. All right, Deep Sky. Really, appreciate you dropping by, mate. It's really good to see you. You take care, my friend. Keep an eye out for more lives in the future. I will be doing more. But really good to see you. Take care, Deep Sky Hunter, and I will see you soon, my friend. And in fact, guys, I think we're going to call that a night. I've been on here hours. My throat's getting a bit dry now. I'm ready for a cup of tea. So, and the sun's about to come by and experience some of my fumbling about earlier on. I don't know if you was around, but it was a bit of fun. But like I say, it is a learning curve, this. But I'm going to call it a night for now, folks. And like I say, I'll probably be on tomorrow night. I don't know yet. I will let you know. Keep an eye on my community page. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, drop over there. It's a private group, but if you're an astronomer and you're a nice person, you'll be accepted, no problem. And I'll let you know on the Facebook page as well. So, in the meantime, guys, well, I'll first of all I'll have to find out how we actually turn this live stream off, because I never know on a phone. It's really weird. There's no actually end live stream. But anyway, guys, I'm going to try, and if it just switches off, then you know why, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot, and thank you so much for all those that have done super chats as well. Very much appreciated. You know you are, and I love you all, guys, and I will see you very soon. See you for now, folks.